Just wanted to say hi to everybody and thank you so much for joining me this Monday morning. It is now 9 o'clock, so let us begin our technique. So let's begin by creating an awareness in the area of the heart. Just place an awareness, a gentle awareness in the area of the heart, and just take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Just slow, deep breaths, gentle breaths. And just draw them in through your heart. Breathe out from your heart. And see if you can make these breaths slow and gentle. See if you can take a breath in for 5 seconds and exhale, lasting 5 seconds. Very slow, gentle, deep breaths. And allow these to just flow in and out of your heart. Very rhythmically. Are you noticing your body slow down? Perhaps you're noticing that your body is becoming a little bit more energized. In either case, your body is restoring itself to balance with this technique. So if you do not have enough cortisol in your body, the body will produce more. If you have too much, the body will pull it back a little. And that's the benefit of doing these deep breathing techniques. It balances your body and gives you whatever you want at the right amount of time. And that's essentially what we want to do with life, isn't it? Is we want life to bring us things with appropriate timing, exactly when we need it, and the amount that we need it in. Slow, deep breaths. And visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Wonderful. It's now time for the I didn't know that moment. So today's topic is all about why the mystic crossed the road. And this is where, it's the old joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, the answer is usually to get to the other side. But in this case, for a mystic, it's a slightly different. The reason the mystic crossed the road is because the pain of being on the one side of the road was greater than the pain of the unknown, and so the mystic had to cross the road. And this is essentially a metaphor for our lives. We stay in our current situation until the pain is too great to bear. And then that gives us the jolt that we need to cross to the unknown. And that is essentially why we make decisions the way we do. Sometimes we make decisions that seem risky to others. Crossing the road has its own risk, of course. But how often have we gone and bought a car or a house, and we haven't really thought about it much? We pay more attention to whether we should go to to take this job or that job than we do about buying a house, which is more of a six-figure decision. So sometimes we have fearless boundaries when it comes to certain things, because the pain of not getting a house or the pain of not going to work is greater than the pain that you experience when you go to work. Because by not going to work, there's going to be consequences. So you are balancing off your pain and pleasure points all the time, making those decisions. So now you have to ask yourself a very simple question. Anytime I dissuade myself or I stop from doing something, is it because I know that there's going to be a greater pain where I'm heading, or I'm imagining a greater pain where the reality may not be that? And the key is to cross the road and to do it after looking on both sides. But if the only thing that's holding you back from moving from your current state to move to the next state, if the only thing that's holding you back is your fear of the unknown, then know that you're not alone, first of all, that everyone has a fear of the unknown. But you never really know what you may experience at the other end of that. You may even be glad you crossed the road. So whatever is going on in your life, experience that, understand that, and ask yourself, do I want to go into the unknown? Because the unknown has got an infinite amount of possibilities. It is up to me to create the right possibilities for me. But is the pain of staying on this side of the road greater than the pain I want to experience potentially in the unknown? And that is how we proceed in life, in everything that we do. I would love to hear your comments on this. And I'll just, there's a comment that came through. We see Michelle and Lou saying hi to everyone. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Lou. Thank you for joining us. So essentially, this is the old adage where chicken crosses the road to get to the other side. And what is holding you back to get to the other side? What pain are you holding on to? What pain are you addicted to that you want to stay here? Because the unknown is just too much to bear in terms of your thought process. You know, when I used to work in the corporate world, and we used to see people quit jobs or people get fired, and I followed up with most people that I knew who got fired or who quit, and not one of them said, I regret having quit, or I regret having been fired. As a matter of fact, they are actually thriving in much better than what they were in the corporate world. And it's just something that they needed to do. But they didn't have the courage to do it, so the universe created the circumstances which got them either laid off, fired, or it brought them up to so much pain in this particular organization that they felt that the pain of the unknown was lesser. And that's what happens. So, you know, sometimes the universe brings us these little gifts that don't look like gifts for most of us. But in the end, you never really regret the traveling to the unknown. You're always happier. I'm sure every one of you has an example of when you've done something that's unknown and you have really experienced it and really enjoyed it. So that is my sermon for you today. I hope that was useful. So let us begin to do our quick coherence technique. And this time I'd like you to experience rejuvenating emotions when we add the third layer to this. So let us begin by placing our awareness in the area of the heart. And take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of our hearts, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than we normally would. Slow, deep breaths. And experience a regenerative feeling, appreciation, peace, gratitude we can find something to appreciate everywhere we go. So what is your appreciation that drives a certain feeling that makes you feel amazing? That is really what we're looking for. That is what we're reaching for right now. Is placing our awareness in the area of the heart, a general awareness, and then taking these slow, deep breaths, visualizing them flowing in and out of our hearts, and simply experiencing joy. This is basically the signal to your body to release chemicals that are anti-aging, rejuvenating, allow you to thrive, boost your energy systems throughout the day, allow you to maintain your coherence levels, maintain your composure under pressure. These are all the traits of this journey when you experience rejuvenating emotions. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize them flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would, and experience regenerative emotions. Take these slow, deep breaths and notice if your shoulders are moving up and down. We don't want our shoulders to move up and down too much. We don't want this breathing to be too labored. Just take slow, gentle, rhythmic breaths. See if you can maintain the in-breath for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. Just take the slow, deep breaths and visualize them flowing in and out of your heart while experiencing a regenerative emotion. Notice if there's any thoughts coming through your mind. If that's the case, do not engage these thoughts. Just step back and allow those thoughts to pass. Be the observer of those thoughts and not be engaged in them. By placing awareness in the area of the heart, you are becoming more present. And when you do that, you actually become more creative. And you can create anything you want, because there are endless possibilities for your next step. When you're actually diving into the future in your mind, a known future, something that's happened in the past but you're bringing it forward, you're actually fossilizing your current state. You're actually saying that I want the past to continue to be my future. And that's basically staying on the one side of the road. So we don't want that. We want to create a new future. Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating this morning. I wanted to thank you for your comments. There is one comment that I want to address, but that's in the Q&A section. I just wanted to say this is 15 minutes. If you need to leave, by all means, but we can certainly take questions if you have, and I know there's one question already here. I also wanted to share with you that if you are a member of the Ignite community, The Reverse Your Aging Process replay is posted. You can just go log in and it'll be there. You can access it whenever you want. I have 2 more webinars coming up, one on November 4th, and new replays will be available after to Ignite members. It's free for Ignite members. The Law of Attraction, Avoiding Common Mistakes. This is where we talk about what are some of the things that stop us from manifesting our desires, what are some of the common mistakes people make, and what are the 3 steps that we need to activate in order for us to manifest our desires. I've had great success in doing that for myself, and I wanted to share with you what that is for you. There's also, on December 9th, I thought it would be timely if we took a deep dive to uncover our highest potential for 2019 and then do a meditation to actually make that happen. So give you some practice exercises to do to make this actually happen for you. All right, those are the upcoming classes. So let's look at the question that came up for us. This was from Michelle. Michelle said, it's hard to cross the road to try something new when we are in comfort zone. It is different to cross the road when you're in pain. That's true. This is exactly my point, is that when you are in that comfort zone, you're feeling pain, but you're not feeling enough pain to cross the road. And this is where we marry our intuition with our body, our sensing our body, because a lot of us hit a brick wall before they decide they want to change direction. And that brick wall may look like getting fired from a job, having a heart attack, perhaps having something drastic happen in our lives, and then we decide to change. It's almost like closing the doors, closing the barn doors after the horses have escaped. And so the idea here is to be in tune with your body, and the breathing techniques that we do allow us to be in tune with our body. And when we do that, what ends up happening is that we get an intuitive sense that the current situation perhaps needs redressing. And the benefit of having that intuitive ability, and everyone has that, we just have to tune into our body, because part of the reason why we hit a brick wall or get to such a painful point is because we're ignoring our intuition. Anytime that you're forced to do something, change your life differently, you will notice that you will say to yourself, I've been thinking of doing this for about a year. And that's a year too long. When you have an intuitive sense, begin to put things together, begin to put pieces together before the fire starts, because your intuition is telling you, I need to shift. I waited a year before I quit my job and do this. And that was a year too long. But I wasn't ready. I think the pain of staying in the known was greater than the pain of what I imagined to be out there. And certainly it was not even close to what that pain was. As a matter of fact, it's been a wondrous, joyous journey for me. And I think that it would be for anybody who's tuning into their intuition and move in that direction. So tune into your body. If your body's saying that you're comfortable, you're fine here for now, listen to the body and stay where you are. But if your body's saying that you need to start making tracks, and it's always easier and less costly in many ways to start charting your course now towards an end which you're going to have, rather than wait to the very end and you have to make drastic decisions that rip things apart. And so it's always better for you to listen to your intuition and start hedging yourself and start moving in a direction very slowly, very gently, so that the transition is smooth. But that's a choice you make. All right. Thank you for that comment, Michelle. I don't see any other comments coming through, so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you are if you're going to join us on November 4th for the webinar, I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.